Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Maddie here with today's Produce Industry Podcast with Patrick Kelly, your host, and Equifruit's own Kim Chackal. So today, Patrick and Kim will dive into a conversation packed with sharks and banana badassery. Kim will give us a sneak peek at Equifruit's big moves for the Organic Produce Summit in Monterey this July. And don't miss your chance to snap a pic with the Equifruit squad at OPS booth 318.
Maddie, thank you so much, as always, for introducing the Produce Industry Podcast. And you're live here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and X. Maddie, we're about to have some fun today. And as always, one of the OG banana badasses that I am, I'm probably going to learn a little bit more from Kim and find out where she's going to be. They're like the megalodon at this point. Like they're out crushing through the industry with the only banana you should buy. Am I right?
They are, and everybody loves when the Equifruit squad is around. The stickers, everything. They love them.
There's no not knowing when they're at a show. You know what I mean? So Maddie, thank you so much, and I appreciate you and JGLC.
Thank you.
Everyone, thanks for joining today. As I said, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and we are going to discover more about the bold brand that you see in the industry day in and day out. That's right, the mysterious banana, everyone. Her name is Claudia, if you don't know. And there's a lot behind her that you might not know about. And there's a lot that she works towards and the team at Equifruit. And what I love about it is that it's constantly making me learn and understand imports, development, products, and how to enjoy a banana, how to really taste social justice, everyone. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, Kim Chackal, on. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Patrick. Happy to be here.
I believe it's a first time live stream for you on
Yes,
the Produce
sir.
Industry Show.
That's right. It is my first time doing a live stream, period.
This is your first
Period.
one? Like never did one on like Instagram for fun or like, nothing with the kids, like nothing at all?
No, I have an Instagram account, but it's purely to follow the Equifruit account. I never post anything or do anything. I'm just constantly keeping up with the Banana Badass squad.
It's constant monitoring. We're not going to tell everybody that it is monitoring, but Kim just admitted it. She's monitoring the Equifruit brand at all times, everyone.
I am.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it is great to have you. I love that we get to do this live stream together. I love that we get to spend some time together. Now, when you think of the Equifruit brand, and I talk about this so much, is that I never thought about fair trade before Equifruit. So in the last couple of years, even as I've told you, every morning I wake up, grab a cup of coffee, I have a banana. And nowhere near did I even think about farmers getting paid fairly in this era, right? Social justice. We're talking about women's rights, like all of this. Like when you go to eat a banana, like you're not thinking about on a daily basis. But when you think of Equifruit and you see a banana now, when I'm purchasing, I'm like, very true. Interesting. What brand is this? Is it fair trade? It really starts to get the mind moving. Now, we're not going to focus fully on that today because we're going to talk sharks. We're going to talk banana badassery. And then we're going to find out the movement because you got a couple fun things coming up here in the next, 6 months. So let's talk about sharks and bananas right now, Kim. Let's get it going. And what Equifruit's doing and why we want to let people know about the only banana you should buy, Kim.
Well, I'm glad that we've changed your mindset, and I think that we're creating awareness around like one of the best kept secrets in grocery. People buy bananas more than any other produce item generally in North America. And we can all agree that they're the least expensive item, no matter where you buy them, whether you're in the fanciest grocery store or the deepest discount store, they are the cheapest item by a long shot. And yeah, I didn't think about it either until I got to know our president and asked a little bit more about her fair trade banana company and got to know what the need was for such a product. And I was just having like an outer body experience learning about the history of the banana industry. So if you've never done that before, jump on the old Google box, Google the history of the banana industry and how come bananas are so cheap, and like forget watching some drama or some crazy show on Netflix. This is a whole story in and of itself that involves everything from assassinations to exploitation and really just dark stuff to establish bananas as a loss leader at the grocery level. And so there's a huge need for awareness so that people can be pushing retailers who have all the power right now to maintain that strategy and pushing them towards a strategy that involves fair pay for banana farmers, decent working conditions. So that's what Equifruit is all about. We're a 100% fair trade certified brand by Fair Trade International, the gold standard in fair trade certification. And we also leveled up this year, became a B Corp and women owned 100%. So that's really important to us. We want people to think about bananas differently. We want them to get so excited about what we're doing that they become banana badasses, which are really brand ambassadors, people that are going out and spreading the good word about what kind of banana you want to be choosing for you and for your family.
And it's a tough world to talk about. I mean, we did the history of bananas on the history of fresh
Yeah.
produce,
Mm-hmm.
and I was amazed because I was like, all these big names that we're not going to name, because I think if you're in the industry, you already know who they are, and we don't need to name
Yeah.
those names.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, wait a minute, we're talking about 40 years ago that there's still lawsuits going on within the industry and people are getting sued for human rights. Like, why are we even discussing this 40 years later? Like, why hasn't that change happened? Like, why are we still stuck 40 years in the past when it comes to banana farmers? It really does baffle me, because it worries me too, right, Kim? Like, think about it. As a leader in this industry, you're like, wait a minute, like, we should be doing better for our industry, and especially the food we're putting in our mouth. Like, we don't want, like, listen, I'm going to take this to like the t-shirt industry, when, you know, the Nikes and all those guys were getting hounded for the sweatshops, and they had to change. Remember? Do you remember how fast that changed? And
Well, I remember when that Rana Plaza incident happened, how it just drove this global awareness that you get what you pay for. If you're buying a t-shirt for $9.99, then the person who produced that t-shirt is probably not living their best life. And unfortunately, the banana industry, until actually more recently, there was some pretty big banana news a couple of weeks ago. I think that type of banana news is starting to create dialogue, especially at the consumer level, to go, oh, I've never really thought about this before. Why are my bananas so cheap? And all of the adorable marketing that has been done to kind of distract us from what's actually going on will probably come into question as consumers are more and more curious and more excited to support brands that are doing things properly. And I see that in the comments of all of our social media. You have more and more banana badasses joining our squad, joining our movement, who are getting really excited about a brand that's willing to stand up to bad banana business practices and say, this is the type of brand that I want to put in my basket. And fine, if it's going to cost me, we figure between $5 and $10 more per year, I'm willing to have one less Starbucks so that I can feel good about where my bananas came from.
I like that you said you'll have one less Starbucks. I will not have one less Starbucks. I'll just buy more bananas. I mean, like, I've
There
just
you
said
go.
it. I told, where was I the other day? And someone said to me, like, how much bananas do you buy a week? I kind of was going through my shopping list, and I always buy oranges every week. You know, my kids, they love oranges. They love apples, you know, some real staple items. Bananas are in there as well. And I say, I buy 2 bunches of bananas, and they're like, you eat that much bananas in a week? I said, well, what I do is the second set of bananas is for banana bread. So they're like, what? And I'm like, no, I don't let my bananas go bad. Like my banana bread is not the offspring of bad bananas, like me not
You're
eating my
intentional.
bananas. No, it's intentional. I will like,
Yeah.
my wife Renee's like, she knows like two deals of bananas. She's like, all right, either he's gonna eat them all. She's
Yeah.
like, or she's like, I already know we're having banana bread come the next 5 days, and I don't mind that. Like those are things that we're I'm a consumer of fresh produce, so I need to figure out ways to obviously help increase our own industry. And don't you think, Kim, isn't having banana bread better still than having some Ruffles potato chips? I mean, seriously. I mean, I still think it's
100%.
better, right?
Sure, that there's an opportunity to use other fair trade products like cocoa and sugar and chocolate chips and vanilla. So
Like
I'm all about it. That definitely offsets the guilt as I'm like eating a quarter loaf before bed.
I always say,
100%.
like it's all in your rations too, right? Like, no, I'm not gonna eat. I'll eat like 6 loaves of banana bread. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I will
Yeah.
do it. But I agree with you, right? It gives you a sense of security too, to know one, you're still eating right. Like
Hmm.
again, people are like, oh, you got to stay away from the breads, and I'm like, listen, you can't keep me away from banana bread, everyone. Especially when I love bananas. I mean, all day.
Yeah.
I've told you that since I met you. It's like, how many times do people see me when I'm traveling? I have a banana in my pocket or my coat, and you and I experienced. I was talking to Madison last week, and I was like, I could be the only person that could have gotten arrested in Canada for taking bananas into another store. And Madison was laughing, and I go, no, it's true. I go, because on our trip, remember we were buying bananas, and I kept putting them in my pocket in my sport
Yeah,
coat.
yeah. That would make for a fantastic headline.
It would not.
We'll never shy away from another headline around bananas and Equifruit. We definitely try to be in the media for all the good reasons.
I told
But don't you find your kids keep you guessing? Like, I don't know if your kids do this, but one week I'll buy bananas and they'll eat them all up. Within 2 days, they're gone. So I go back to the store 2 days later, I buy 2 bunches this time, and nobody touches them. I feel like I've talked to a lot of parents who are living that same life, and there's like a section of their freezer devoted to frozen bananas, which you can do a lot of things with. I mean, as we head into the summer season, I hope you all are peel your bananas before you freeze them. Slice them up on some parchment paper, and then just have a bag ready for smoothies, ready for just like a nice frozen treat. You can even freeze up smoothies and make popsicles, or Arrested Development style. You could dip them in chocolate and put them in the freezer. There's a lot of options out there.
No, I did try that this year. My wife was like, "What is this?" It was an orange bag she found,
Yeah.
and it literally was I think Reese's peanut butter cups and like bananas made this like frozen Reese's peanut butter cup banana. And I am
Oh,
a fan of frozen chocolate. I love chocolate when it's freezing cold. Okay,
yeah.
so we found this. It was not what I expected. I think I need to do it myself, like you just said.
Mm,
I think I need to figure it out because it didn't taste as fresh as I wanted it to. I still
mm,
bought something new with bananas, right? But I was
yeah.
like, I'm like little peanut butter, little chocolate, banana. I told my wife, I was like, I could probably make this myself out
Yeah.
of my bananas instead of buying it, because it's probably, again, it came from Reese's, so with that the Mars company
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. You got to get some fair trade chocolate
That's what
around
I'm
that banana.
saying. Is like it's kind of
Get
one of
get
the
rid of that.
different aspect here. Now, real quick though, we've got a bunch of people jumping in, so I want to just throw some of the comments out there. We got Jay Gardner. We know Jay saying hi, everyone. Jay also
Hey.
said one more banana smoothie, everyone. So it's true,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a couple comments. We have Fernanda G. I love banana too. Fair trade bananas with
Yes,
the
ma'am.
banana emoji. You got to
Yeah.
love that. And oh, here's another one from her. Look at this one. Bananas are also great for pets. I didn't know
Whoa.
that.
Whoa.
Did you know
I
that?
heard I don't have any pets, but I've also heard that they're great for gardening. I've heard that
What?
if I mean, especially, yeah, but you want to use organic. Well, you want to use organic fair trade Equifruit bananas, but apparently the peels are extremely nutrient dense. And I've seen these videos, and don't do this unless you know that it's the right thing to do. But I've seen these videos where people take the peel of an organic banana and shove it in the soil, and it should just decompose over time and release all nitrogen and all the good things inside the peel into the soil and really enrich it. Have you ever heard anybody do that?
I have not.
If anybody knows any plant gardening tips, then we can make our gardens nicer this summer. Just throw them in the comments, because that got me intrigued.
I like
And
that. I like that.
I should say too, during the pandemic, we got so many suggestions from people about all the ways that you could use different parts of the banana. Like you could steep organic banana peels and make a tea, which is supposed to make you sleep well at night. Or some people were taking off the pith and then baking them with barbecue sauce to make kind of like a pulled pork style banana, or like a
Whoa.
bacon, not a pulled pork, like a bacon. I think they would turn into like a barbecue chip. If anybody's ever tried that, let me know how it tastes. Sounds strange, but it diminishes food waste.
I was gonna say, here's another comment. This is from our team. We got Lubna. Yes, my friend has a dog, and he loves Equifruit bananas. Lubna, the dog or your friend? No, I'm just, or both, right? I'm pretty sure it's both.
Yeah.
Here's another one. LinkedIn user. Happy Friday, guys. Love the episode. Thank you so much to our LinkedIn user.
And what's that emoji going on there?
Oh, we got some.
It looks like a shark fin.
I think it could have. I'm going to bring it back up. Basti says it's good for their coat. Oh, so banana. So it's good for the dog's coat.
Whoa.
Okay. I said I was going to learn something on this.
Keep your dog shiny, folks.
Hey, so fresh and so clean all the way. Let's bring up the LinkedIn user again. Oh, no, Kim, it looks like it's a bigger head, but we can take it as a shark. Okay. Can someone please place a shark emoji in the comments so we can have it up, please? We'd like a shark emoji.
Please. Yeah.
Who else do we have? Just want to go through a couple comments. Oh, let's see what Maddie says. My sister used to rub her face with the banana peel. Have we heard this?
Ooh. No, I should try that. That's the inside of the peel or the outside of the peel, like the yellow or the white?
It's a great question.
I would, for sure, folks, if you I don't know anything about that tip, but definitely make sure you use an organic banana, ideally an Equifruit banana, because the amount of pesticides used in banana production, conventional banana production, I think is like the 4th highest in the world. So you don't want to rub those pesticides on your face with a conventional banana. Splurge the extra 0.5 cents or whatever it is to organic and treat yourself.
All right. So your girl Jenny came in for the win. She was the first one to do it.
But, yes. Amazing.
But Fernanda did it even better. She
Love
did
it.
the and the shark.
Okay. Watch out, Jenny.
And then Maddie obviously combining that with the yes.
Yeah.
But banana. I got another one. We're gonna keep going through these. Bananas and Coca-Cola taste like dirt. Just FYI. Maddie, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Another thing, do not have bananas and Coca-Cola together.
Yeah.
Is she saying like a smoothie or just like a Coke in one hand and a banana? Because I just
I don't know.
We'll leave that one to Maddie. Maddie, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one to Maddie. But Kim, again, look, as we're talking, we're talking about the brand. We're talking about Equifruit. And all of this is encompassed around your brand. The things that even our guests are talking about in this chat room has a significance to your brand. Because I believe if there was another banana company that we were talking to, none of these comments would be coming up. You wouldn't be seeing sharks. You wouldn't be seeing banana emojis. You wouldn't be seeing put it on your face. Like, it would be probably way different. And I think that goes and says a lot about Equifruit and what they're doing. I want you to talk about the brand a little bit. We talked with Madison last week about disruptive marketing a little bit, which we'll get more into after the break. But this brand is bold. It's in your face. And it'll show you why it's the only banana you should buy. Am I right, Kim?
Yeah. So going back to what you said earlier, the banana business, like the banana industry, has a very dark history, which it doesn't just date back to 40 years ago, Patrick. It's stuff that's still going on today. Our company is very involved in the banana industry on a global level in terms of all of the different things that are affecting banana farmers. And there's really this plea from banana farmers globally to use fair trade as the gold standard and as just the everyday standard. And so that's really the focus for us as a brand. But how do you tell that to the consumer? How do you talk about how banana farmers are subsidizing our cheap bananas and living in poverty, working full time, but living in poverty so that we can enjoy cheap bananas? And we found in the past that when we tried to message that in a way by just, basically getting people tugging on their heartstrings, it was just emotionally too overwhelming. I'm sure that you've heard about that in marketing, where if you come in with information that's too heavy, people just block it out, and in an effort to kind of protect their minds and their hearts, they can't take it in. And so enter the shark. That's really a part of the Equifruit brand. If you go onto our website, your mouse is going to turn into a shark. You're going to use the shark to eat the Equifruit banana. We've found that if you can message this difficult news in a way that's very simple and playful with some humor, hyper confidence, that suddenly people perk up and are curious to learn more because we're making it entertaining. And we've found that we've been able to have really fruitful discussions with people and get them to understand the meaning of our brand in a way that engages them rather than making them feel guilty, and just kind of gross about the whole industry. Instead, they get super excited to follow us and be part of that discussion and then to be part of the solution. So again, that's why we use fun, playful language like banana badass, the term that we use to define the people who are part of our movement. That's the team that we work with. It's our customers. It's the retailers that we've partnered with, the distributors who ripen our bananas, the end consumer who goes to the store and buys our bananas and follows Equifruit on social media. These are all banana badasses, people that want to continue to enjoy this lovely fruit. But again, they want to feel good about where it comes from, and they want to support the underdog brand who's making a big name in the industry.
And it's amazing because someone called me last week, and I tell you this all the time. I get the craziest calls. Like I can't wait. I'm going to start like a new segment called Produce After Dark to talk about all the crazy stuff that I'm going to do it in like the FBI voice, Kim, so they don't know like who's talking or what's going on. But someone even asked me that last week. They're like, I don't get it. I go, what don't you get? They're like, so they just like dance and they have a shark and they're like, what do they do? And I said, their goal is to get you to the booth to make you ask questions. It's like, what's going on here? Why is there a 6-foot shark? And sometimes to the industry, and we've talked about this, we've got baby boomers still in our industry. We've got Gen X, we've got millennials, we've got Gen Z, and there's so many different generations that are there. So we're trying to merge all these together. And I talk about this all the time. Like we're trying to thrive and work together, right? And to do that, you got to hit people emotionally. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to touch them in a way where they're going to go, oh, wow. Really? That's what we're doing here. Okay. Yeah. Let me ask another question. And if you could probe those questions, it's amazing. And that's what I always say. When you can get someone to say to you, Kim, what do you guys do here? I feel like that is one of the most the best questions in the world, because before they're like, oh, well, if they don't know what you do, well, that's a bad thing. I think they know what you do, but they're going, there's a shark. There's banana benches. I need a banana bench in the office. Like, I don't know why I don't have one yet. Like, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But I told him, I go, it makes you think. It makes you wonder. And it makes you go outside the scope of your normal buying and your tendencies to go, oh, I'm at a trade show. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. No, come stop by the Equifruit booth. Let's have some fun. Let's dance. Let's chill on the booth. What do you want to do? Let's talk about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's really part of our strategy, is to get to be impossible to ignore. So, what you're talking about is when Equifruit is exhibiting at a trade show, which would be attracting buyers in the produce industry, we found that although there are a bunch of colorful and fruit and vegetable forward booths, we found there was this gap in the market in terms of booths that really piqued your curiosity and made you want to stop and ask questions. So we don't always have a big 6-foot shark at our booth. Sometimes we go in a different direction. Like at OPS in a couple of weeks, we're going to be, I don't want to say too much today, but we're going to get you to come and strike a pose at the booth. We're really hopping onto different trends in pop culture, so that they're familiar to you and they get you to stop and ask us some questions. Ultimately, we're thinking about the experience that the customer is going to have in interacting with the Equifruit brand. whether it's at a trade show or even at the retail level. So because the people who buy our bananas every day are not meeting us at a trade show, they're just going to the grocery store, we also use our packaging as a way to be impossible to ignore. So our packaging will have really bold and impossible to ignore statements on it. Like our organic banana band might say, the only banana to binge watch. And, and like, why is it that we can watch 8 episodes in one go, but 8 episodes or 8 minutes dedicated to paying farmers fairly seems too long? We'll make it short. This is the only banana you should buy. So we're using the real estate that we have on our packaging to start a conversation with you, to establish the tone of our brand so that you scan the QR code, you start following Equifruit on Instagram, and you fall in love with this brand that's making fair trade as loved and appetizing as pop culture.
And it's so true. And listen, everyone, we're going to get back in a few seconds because we're going to talk about OPS. We're going to talk about some future trade shows. Now, we have some first timers here. Kim, we did a first timer in March, which we're going to go back and talk about the first time in March of the first trade show you guys visited here. Don't say it. And we're going to move forward to what we're going to be in the next 6 months. But real quick, our awesome Madison Hopper said, hands up if you're a banana badass, everyone. Put them up, put them up, put them up. Put in the chat, please. We want to see. We got Madison. We've got Jenny. We've got Lubna. But look at this. We even have LinkedIn user. Come on, give us your name. We want to know who you are. If you want to be branded as the banana badass, shoot us a name. Let us know who you are, okay? Because I think that's very important. Our girl Shelby, we know is the true banana badass. I watched her put on makeup the other day, thinking about fair trade. And before we go to break, I thought about, I could use this to kind of do my hair too.
That's right.
You got to think like.
Show them your trick, Patrick.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
You guys think this sprayed air can is only used for dusting the computer off? This is also a lot for volume as well.
You're channeling Grease vibes, Danny.
So a couple more. We got Carney. We've got I went ahead and did it myself as well. And who else do we have? Look at this. We got Michelle. We know Michelle. And Dan. We've got a lot of banana badasses on the call, Kim.
I love it.
I like it.
Keep it coming.
Here we go. I think this was the LinkedIn user, maybe.
Oh, Scott. Hi, Scott.
You know Scott?
Yeah, we met in person for the first time at Brandstorm years ago.
I love it.
Scott's a total banana badass.
I love it. And then so let's do this. Let's take a quick break, everyone. It's a little bit after lunchtime, but that's okay. We still want to get you excited. We still want to get you hungry. And we want to show you what's out there. So we're going to hear from a couple of our sponsors, and then we're going to get back talking about disruptive marketing and where Equifruit is coming on the horizon. So be right back.
Fiadini with Walk and Talk, the restaurant life. If you follow the show, thank you. We really appreciate the support. If you don't follow the show and you're a foodie or a chef or you're into the restaurant world, this is your home. Check us out. We sincerely appreciate it. we're filming chefs, their food creations in the best establishments near you. All right, so let me tell you where you can find us. We're on YouTube, we're on Newsbreak, we're all over the internet. We're also streaming on your TV with Roku, Android TV. You can find us on the Amazon app, and very soon, Apple TV. Come on!
Boom! Welcome back to the Produce Industry Podcast and Show, everyone, live here on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Gotta love and shout out to our sponsors. And, you know, I just found this out. It's as funny as it sounds, not found out, but I was told just the other day, and Maddie made it into the chat room saying that badass commercial from JGLC. Happy National Logistics Day, everyone. I said, let's shout out, give some trucks on there for the logistics and supply chain industry. Shout out to all of our sponsors here at the Produce Industry Podcast for one thing, and that is growing our industry together. I love every day, day in and day out, we're working to collaborating with each other to build a better tomorrow. So today, let's go ahead and get back Kim Chackal on the line with Equifruit. Kim.
Hello again. Hi. You know, the commercial that we just saw there, Carl's commercial, where he's following all the different cool chefs around the world and the stuff that they're doing. I don't know if you noticed, but on that cocktail that they were making, there was that round ice cube that had like that craft ice cube that was made. So I watched this show recently about this business in New York City, and this is all they do. They make fancy ice for fancy bars. And it's incredible to see all the work that goes into making perfectly clear ice cubes. There's a whole process of like boiling the water and doing all this stuff. It's like tempering chocolate, but
no way.
To make ice perfectly clear, they have to make sure that the oxygen doesn't freeze into it. And this stuff is not cheap, right? Like if you're buying a $50 cocktail in New York City, a part of that is the ice. And it just makes me think, you know, retailers these days, grocery retailers are deciding basically what we're willing to pay for. They've decided that we're not willing to pay more than 59 cents or 65 cents a pound for bananas. And yet, when you think about the stuff that we actually are willing to pay for, like you just blew air from a can into your hair. You're literally willing to pay for compressed air to blow into your hair. People are willing to pay for beautifully clear ice, which is going to melt in front of their eyes, but we pay for it. Yeah. Grapes, Maddie says, $8, right? Like, well, that's produce. So I want to support produce. It is expensive, but it's just when you think about the little things that we decide as consumers to pay for every day, whether it's a little trinket on our Stanley mug to hold our rings while we work out at the gym, or whether it's air to blow into your hair, or whether it's, you know, this product over that product, we're making decisions as consumers. But basically, there's this huge problem where globally retailers have decided what we're willing to pay for bananas. But what they haven't asked us is, do you care if these low prices mean that the farmers have to be exploited? And I think that if they did a global survey and the solution was we all had to pay fair trade prices, which would cost us about $5 to $10 more per year, I think that this problem could be solved overnight. Of course, there's going to be a portion of the population where that $5 to $10 a year is more difficult. But for most people, that's an affordable solution. We do spend it on so many other things. So anyways, just seeing that circumference ice cube.
It's so
just
true.
Like, it's stuff like that, you know, where our marketing team will often just ask each other, like, what are some things that we spend $5 to $10 a year on? And I mean, it just flies out of our pockets easily.
Does.
We don't think about it.
And I listen, I got to throw this up because Jenny, you almost made, if I had water in my mouth, I would have spit this out just now. And Jenny, my breath, I need this in my life. I need a dino tail that acts as a straw. Okay. My daughter, my 3-year-old, is a dino crazed person, just like my son was. And I think they do need that. Like I really do, Jenny. But I agree. No one does need that, but I think I do. I want a
Has
dino
anybody
suit.
seen the dinosaur taco holder where like the back of the Brontosaurus is meant to hold your tacos? I saw that once on an
Seen
episode of
that.
it wasn't Top Chef. It was a episode of Iron Chef, and the chef was presenting their tacos as a first course, and it went along the backside of the Brontosaurus. And I got onto Amazon, and I'm like, how much does this thing cost? I would have spent more than $8 for a Brontosaurus taco holder.
Taco, exactly, and that it's so true because think about it. Like even golf, I bring up golf, and I know a lot of people are like, a lot of people golf and a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Golf balls, though. I mean,
Oh,
think about it. I
yeah.
mean, I went to a golf course, and they said that in one hole, over 200,000 golf balls go into the water in this one hole per year.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Hey.
And we're willing to spend money. And guess what? I guarantee you that golfer would hit one in the water and say, I got to do it again. Hit another one in the water. I got to do it again. Right? Because they want the satisfaction of getting on the green on this very, I would say prestigious course. Right? So it's like, you're willing to spend all that money on golf balls. Right? And you're not even thinking about it. So I agree. Like Maddie, yes. $8 for grapes and all these different things. I understand. Right? But as Kim was saying, if you go ahead and limit some of the other things, right? I do. I think it's so crazy. How come? And I do not drink. You know this, Kim, but I do still go out with friends and family and colleagues, and they're drinking. I've never heard one person go, "Oh my gosh, can you believe the drink's this much money?" Oh no, because they want it.
I know. Even the craft cocktails that are alcohol free now. I mean, I see bottles of not like non-gin or gin flavored non-alcoholic gin, and they're $30 or $40. Or if you do go to a bar and you want to get a mocktail, it's not like they're taking the price down. I mean, you are buying juice, but it's still $10 for a glass. Right?
It's crazy how they can say we're going to put a squeeze of lime in this and an umbrella.
Oh,
how
yeah.
much is that? Yeah,
It better.
$37. Wait, what?
Yeah.
$37.
Yeah.
All right, before we get off track, these are some great comments coming in. And I love it, so we'll pull a couple of those comments as we keep going. Someone please find a picture of the dinosaur straw or the taco shell one. We gotta someone please post that on our channels. I want to see it. I want to see it right now. So Kim, let's jump into this though as we keep moving forward. We have OPS that's coming in just about a week and a half or so, maybe a little bit longer. Right off the United States is going to be celebrating the 4th of July next week. Yeah. And then the week after that, it is game time in Monterey. Am I right?
Yes.
So we know we're leading up to Monterey. We're not going to give you too many hints. I know we've got a booth number here somewhere that we're going to shout out.
318.
So please, everyone, check out booth 318 in Monterey at OPS. But let's start talking real quick about where we're going to be and where we've been. So you've done some first timers this year. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We talked about that in March. And I think it was like January, February. I was like, are you guys coming? Are you guys coming? And you made that decision. So what are some first timers for you that you attended this year, your team? And where are you attending for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so Equifruit really decided to focus on US market development over the last 3 years. Our brand was established in 2006. And about 3 years ago, we decided to really drill down in the US market because we're rapidly expanding in Canada. We work with a bunch of independents, medium-sized chains, and some of the large retailers like Sobeys, Costco, Walmart. So the US is really what was next for us. And thanks to actually this platform, we've met a lot of people in produce who have given us their tips about which trade shows to attend. So at the beginning of the year, we started with SEPC down in Tampa this year, and a couple of our banana badasses, Madison and Shelby, went down. Check that out. There's a long waiting list to get in as an exhibitor. So we went to go walk the floor, and we have plans to be at OPS in a couple of weeks, and I think we'll touch on where you can find us next afterwards. But it was our first experience at SCPC, and it was really positive, great energy at the show. I'm really looking forward to checking that out one day myself.
Yeah, Southern Exposure is an amazing show. I first went to Southern Exposure. It was in 2020. It was a week and a half before the pandemic hit, and it was my
Oh,
first
wow.
SCPC ever, and it was right in Tampa. So I was like, well, I might as well go check it out. I had no idea what to expect. And during that, it was like a gambling theme. So like
Mhm.
if you weren't there, but you know the hallways, right? At any show, right?
Yes.
All the hallways were full of like craps tables, blackjack tables. So it was
Oh,
just like it was like you thought you were in like Vegas, but it was all produce people. So it didn't matter where you were. You could go up and just chat and have fun with anybody getting on a crafts table with people. And it wasn't like all gambling. They did it based on right fun and the environment that they were in. So it wasn't gambling. There was no illegal activities going on, but it made it to where it was very interactive.
yeah.
And it was. It's a really good show. I have been back to back with SCPC since 2020. And even then, I'm on their education committee. And then when I even told you, I told you like, this is a show you do have to go to, Kim.
Mhm.
And I told you, I said, you need to be here. And you're like, I can't. It falls on, I think it was your kid's spring break.
Yeah, it falls on my
And
kids' spring break every year.
it's
And my
okay.
husband was starting a new job that Sunday. It was impossible for me to get out there this year.
I
And it
know.
falls on spring break next year. But as my kids get older, I mean, my second son, Elliot, he is just dying to officially, join Equifruit. I'm like, you got to finish
Become
school. Yeah,
a
you got to finish school. You got to go out into the world and work, and then come and join us. But there's definitely a spot for him. He can't wait to go to a trade show with me one day and just be part of it.
Listen, I say don't let them don't be that strict. Okay. I'm being real with you. I take Ty to 4 trade shows a year, and the level of engagement that
Wow.
Ty brings, it's crazy because Ty will start having his own conversations with people, and there's
Oh,
nothing
cute.
your kid can do to hurt your brand. I will tell you that
Oh, no,
right now. Like
no.
my son, he goes out, I give him a stack of business cards, and he'll go out and saying, "Hey, will you go talk to my dad?" Trust me.
Oh, that's adorable.
Trust
Well,
me.
actually, what's super cute is Elliot has been dying for a Banana Badass jumpsuit ever since we had them produced a couple years ago. And the other day I said, look, I want to let you in on a little secret. We've actually just revamped our whole inventory of Banana Badass jumpsuits. We're going to reveal them for the first time at OPS in a couple weeks. So I said, we're going to retire the old ones. And I think he might be able to get into an extra small. It was like telling him that we were going to Disney World for the first time. He was so elated. I don't know where he's going to wear this Banana Badass jumpsuit, but I mean, he's so pumped. I think it's going to become like his school uniform for next year. He's allowed to wear navy blue, white, gray, and red. I think he'll just go to school in a Banana Badass jumpsuit every day and just be that kid.
I told it's
Isn't that awesome? It's going to be a new school for him too. We just moved to a new neighborhood. Imagine rolling up to your
oh,
first day of grade 5 in a Banana
I
Badass
can't.
jumpsuit. I'm
I
not
can't.
sure if I would get called to the principal's office, but
Yeah, they're
it's all for a
ma'am.
good reason.
What's funny is I'll tell you what, you get called in the principal's office, I would be smiling the whole time going, right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you're right. No, 100% right. So you guys
Yeah.
like the brand? You guys
Yeah.
enjoy the
Yeah.
I would just
Send him in with a neck tattoo on his first day.
just airbrush though. Airbrush.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
there's only one that could
Yeah.
have a true Banana Badass tattoo, and I'll challenge anybody. But I'd love that. I think it's amazing. And I told Madison a week or so ago. I said, listen, I want like a costume, and she's like, yeah, I think we would do like a shark. I was like, well, then get me the banana costume with a shark bite out of it. And I'm like, and Madison can just chase me down every
Yeah.
single hallway, like, like here comes the shark, right? Like, what are you guys doing here? Check out our booth, like, you know what I mean? Like, you will impossible to ignore. Or, as I told Madison, do you remember the show Hey Arnold? And Hey Arnold, him and his best friend Gerald, I think it was the first episode of Hey Arnold. Arnold was a banana, Gerald was a strawberry. Seriously, like straight up. And Jay Gardner made a comment earlier about my background. He said that, Pat spends $10 a year or a week on Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
There you go.
Everybody, I still want the banana Arnold and the Gerald strawberry Funko Pop. They are hard to find. Funko Pops are hard to find. It's crazy as they sound. Some of these Funko Pops are $400 or $500 behind me. Okay.
Wow,
So
wild.
it's not like, oh, well, these are $10. No, some of these are collector's items. I have a banana up there as well behind, just left of right of the Disturb. And I've got the Green Giant. I've got a few different ones, but produce Funko Pops are so hard to come by. Like, people buy them immediately and then you never see them again, like
Yeah.
ever. And then they don't make them anymore. So then the price goes up, right?
Yeah,
So,
you know what would fit really well next to your banana is one of these dinosaur taco holders right here for 28 bucks,
see, that's
right?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. We're Everybody, we're going to put that on screen pretty soon, and you will be able to buy a banana taco holder. I mean, a taco. Look, I said banana. Oh my gosh, you got me, Kim. A
There you
banana
go.
taco holder. No, a taco dinosaur holder.
Exactly.
Well, what's coming up? We've got OPS, and then that's July, but we have August, September, October. So why don't you talk about what's happening in the next 3 months after that?
Yeah, so I'll say we went to, just going back for a sec. So March we were at SCPC, and then April every year, because we're based in Canada, we go to the CPMA. We're very involved there. And then, yes, we have OPS coming up. Then we'll also, and we also do go to the retail conference, Consumer Connections, which we're all in May. But we'll be at OPS, followed by SCPC. This is going to be the first time that Equifruit's exhibiting for Southern Innovations. And we'll also be at the IFPA Global Show as an exhibitor, as a sponsor. We'll have 2 of our team members as lobby greeters, doing something crazy and memorable as you're trying to come in and out of the show. So really our objective is for you to go to these big shows. And our objective is, if we were to interview anybody leaving the show and asked, what are the 3 most memorable booths? We always want to be one of those top 3. And we don't care how we got you to the booth. We just want you to remember that you had a great experience, that you had fun, that you laughed, and that you learned something about the banana industry that really marked you going forward.
And I believe OPS last year, you had a shark kind of following.
Oh yeah,
around.
we had a shark drone last year, which was a real fun activation. So that definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. Actually, this year I'm going to be speaking on a panel too at OPS. So if you're attending on the day of education, the same day as the trade show at 8 a.m., I'm competing with 2 other panels. So ours is going to be about basically sustainability claims and certifications. There's so much label confusion, and we're really going to be asking the question, do all of these labels and certification, do they drive confusion, or do they drive consumption? You know, how does the consumer actually feel? And we're going to have a retailer on board and 2 grower packer shippers, and it'll be moderated by Mary Heslop Coppola from 10 Acre Marketing. So I think it's going to be a really great panel. I'd love to see you there if you're planning to attend the show. And then after that, come and see us at booth 318. We're going to have a brand new activation in our brand new Banana Badass jumpsuits. It's going to be really awesome. Madison found this opportunity for us in Monterey. So we have a structure coming to the booth. It's going to be very fun. I think we're going to catch a lot of attention, and people are going to laugh, and they're going to leave the show with some amazing photography.
Well, that's what it should be about. I told Madison, again, I talked to Madison a lot, as you can tell, about, the red carpet and bringing an experience to the industry that they've never been exposed to before. And if you've been in this industry as long as young as I look, and as old as I am, right? Like I'm 3 generations here, and I've seen it, right? Even as a kid, I have pictures of my trade shows that my dad went to, right? In like the 80s and the 90s. Listen, the activation then was who had the nicest tie.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It really didn't even matter about the booth. It didn't matter about any of that. It more mattered about just business. Hey, how are we doing? No. We don't want that anymore. We want to get to the point where you're excited about what you're doing. You're excited about the programs, and you're just fully excited about moving forward. And
we have much more branded produce today too. And so brands, in order to really carve out your brand and to be able to communicate your assets and to determine and communicate your value add, you need to think outside of the box. You can't just show up and show your tomatoes and celery and hope that things will work out for you. You really need to have buyers walk away remembering which tomato brand or which celery brand it was and why. What would make it memorable?
Oh, so true. And that's with so much going on today. Like you can't just expect, oh, they're gonna remember me. They're gonna remember
Yeah.
my name. No, there's so much going on, and if you can't capture with what they want to see within 15 to 30 seconds, then I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Like it's gonna
Yeah.
get you might lose them. So what's next though? What's after OPS? Is there anything going on in August, or are you skipping right to September?
No, August is just a bit of a break for us. We won't do any travel in August, and then skipping right to September, we have SEPC followed by IFPA Global Show in Atlanta this year. Yeah, it takes out, I think another thing too, the way that we approach investing in a trade show, of course, everything that happens during that trade show, whether it's a 1 day or 2 day show, are really foundational to the success of that experience. But we actually look at the 8 week window around a trade show, the 6 weeks leading up to the show and the 2 weeks afterwards to promote that we're coming, all the promotion while we're at the show and all the promotion after the fact of everything that happened. So for those marketers out there or for those brands out there that are looking to really maximize the ROI on that investment, you want to be thinking about how many people are aware that you're there so that they look for you. You can't just expect them to show up at a show where there's hundreds of other exhibitors and have your name on that list of people that they absolutely must see. You know how busy we get at these events, so you have to plan for it and you have to book those meetings. So booking meetings leading up to it and leading campaigns on social media. If you're following Equifruit, especially on LinkedIn, Shelby was doing her makeover this week. And the next couple of weeks, we're going to have different videos drop that, again, tease out the concept of this photo opportunity at our booth at OPS.
And that leads perfectly into this comment right here. Always excited to see what the Banana Badasses are bringing to spotlight for marketing disruption. And
Cool.
it's so true. Thanks, G. We appreciate the comment because it is true. We like seeing what's coming to the table and how more companies should embrace being so bold. So we've got great trade shows coming up. Disruptive marketing is in the strategy of what you have,
Yeah.
and being bold and being out in front of your face. It's not easy to ignore this. I mean, you know it, I know it, and it takes time to grow a brand. Like you told me a few weeks ago, this new brand was kicked off just a few years ago, and you're leading into the incline of this brand. You're seeing it, and you're seeing it gain traction around the globe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just in the last 48 hours, I had two different companies reach out to me. I'm going to have a call this afternoon from a really well-established brand uh, that is excited about how we are marketing sustainability, and they want to learn from us. And it could turn into a commercial opportunity. So that was just exciting for me to see. And then, another call that I had earlier this week with another company that's thinking about getting into the banana space. And so when they're thinking about being unique and talking about reaching today's consumer, Equifruit was the first banana brand that came to mind. So just knowing that we're taking up that real estate in people's minds through these disruptive activations and this really memorable way of marketing ourselves and communicating our value add it makes me really proud of the entire team at Equifruit. We're working hard to get bananas from A to Z, and our marketing and commercial team is doing a terrific job at getting you to pay attention to us, getting you excited so that you become a brand ambassador, a banana badass, and go out and, as I said, just spread the good word and drive awareness of the fact that bananas shouldn't be so cheap and that we have to pay a little bit more so that we can pull these thousands of banana farmers globally out of poverty because they're producing our favorite fruit. The Packer just put out the list. Bananas top the charts again this year for most consumption. So we want to make sure that we're contributing to a more sustainable supply chain economically, socially, and environmentally.
What's funny is we're going to wrap up the show. I was going to ask you, is there anything that you want to let our industry and guests know? I think you just said it. I mean, that says it all. We have to create more awareness. And I've always said this as coming from the citrus community here in the United States. It's like number one goal. Like since I was a kid listening to my dad talk in our in the kitchen and in our living room. It was all about grower returns, because without growers, we don't have any of this.
Yeah.
None
Yeah,
of it.
they're at the foundation of what we do. I mean,
And it is.
otherwise, I would love to just let people know that we're developing a section of our website on the About Us page for job opportunities. Our team is going to be scaling pretty significantly in the next 2 to 3 months. These are mostly going to be opportunities for folks based in and around Montreal or Toronto, but keep an eye on the Equifruit website. And if you know other people that are, maybe you're not based in Montreal or Toronto, but you know people that would be a good fit for our team, we'll be making some really exciting announcements in the next couple months as we get ready to scale.
So you've got some fun stuff happening. So you got to stay tuned, everyone. Don't ignore them. Get them on your feed.
Yeah.
Subscribe to all the channels if you want to have some fun, because that's what it's about. And I always say, ask a lot of questions. Kim's down for answering. She'll get into the nitty gritty with you. She'll get into the negative parts of it too, because she'll wrap it around about what's the truth and why we are where we are today. It's a crazy industry and history that's still here today. And Kim can talk about that. The whole team actually can talk about that, So I'm looking forward to it. I will not be at OPS, but I am wishing you all the best as well.
Thank you.
But I will see you at Southern Innovations, or who is going to Southern Innovations? Are you going to Southern Innovations, or someone else?
I'm gonna be there with Madison and Shelby. And we just found out that there's like this 80s themed banquet night, and I was gonna cut my hair next week, but I'm like, how big can I make my 80s
Oh
hair?
my gosh!
Between now and September, not sure. I'm not sure what the best strategy, or maybe shorter will allow for more volume. I'm not sure what the math is.
Should I mull it? Should I just mull it then?
I need your hairspray thing, like your hairspray plus the air jet thing. Those two things combined.
I'm gonna just grow it out and go mull it then. I mean, or I got mull it and then get a perm, so I got the Jerry curls in the back.
Who knows? Maybe you won't recognize me.
I'm not sure my wife will let me do that. She's coming to Southern Innovation. She comes to Southern Innovations every year, and I doubt she might not come if I do that. So that would be it. Well, Kim, closing thoughts on Equifruit, the only banana you should buy. Let the industry know.
Yeah, if you're not following us on social media, then your life is about to get much more exciting. We're at Equifruit on all the platforms. Definitely recommend our LinkedIn if you're looking for more business content. And then if you're looking just for more fun content, check out our Instagram and our TikTok. You can also find us on Facebook and X. Otherwise, check out our website. Send us your love. We're super excited by all the comments. They really drive our team. We're a small, medium-sized business, but each person that gives us a little love, it really goes a long way. In our Slack channel, we have an Equilove channel, and anytime anybody says anything kind or positive or encouraging, we share it with the team, because we're just really fighting an uphill battle. It's our small business against these giant multinationals, and we have a lot of work to do to achieve global fair trade banana domination. So thank you for all of those people out there who have been supporting us and encouraging us, especially you, Patrick, and your whole team. We just look forward to meeting you at the next trade show and just blowing your socks off. It's going to be a great rest of the year.
I love it. Well, Kim, thank you so much for coming on. Your first live stream. We look forward to seeing you at the next show and having some fun, just being banana badasses as we are.
That's right. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the yellow Crocs and the banana badass jumpsuits. You can't miss us.
Eyes peeled. A little produce idiom right there. Well, Kim, thank you so much. And as I say, we'll see you in the fields and on the horizon. Everyone, the only banana you should buy with Equifruit. I'm looking forward to an adventure with them for the upcoming years and see what their brand has to bring to the table, see how they bring the industry together, specifically the banana industry, and see how their bold marketing rubs off on other companies. I'd love to see more produce companies stop advertising so much fruit and start advertising and marketing their business, their brand, and what they love and what they stand behind. Again, Equifruit, Kim said to me in Canada, can you taste social justice? I said, I think I can. I can taste the banana. It tastes different. And they said, no, it doesn't. It actually doesn't taste different. It's the same banana. but it got my mind thinking that this banana has to taste different. It does taste different to me. Oh my gosh, I love this Equifruit banana. But everyone, it's about growing together. It's about growing our industry and being in front of the world, because guess what? As growers and farmers and packers, we have to feed the world with all of this produce. And we want you to know where it comes from, who picks it, who grows it, and who puts all that love into it. So everyone, thank you all for joining our live stream today. Have a great weekend. And like I said,